If you want to learn more about the 4-6 profile in human design, then you're in the right place. Hi guys, my name is Veronica. I'm a coach and a human design guide, and on this channel I share human design with you in a practical, easy to understand and simple to implement way so that you can find more alignment in who you are, what you do and how you do it. So if that sounds good to you, then subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and if you do enjoy this video, then please give it a thumbs up. This video is part of the profiles series, so if you're interested in understanding more about any of the other profiles in human design, then I do invite you to check out the playlist, which I'll leave linked for you either in the description box or somewhere here on the screen. But for today, we're going to be focusing on the 4-6 profile, the Opportunist, role model, also sometimes referred to as the Regal Authority Figure. Now, I have filmed a lot of these profile videos already, so instead of repeating myself over and over again, I'm going to take a snippet from a previous video where I spoke about the line 4 and another snippet from a video where I spoke about the line 6, and then I'm going to come back and share with you what happens when we bring those two individual lines together in profile to form the 4-6 profile or the Regal Authority Figure. Enjoy diving into the detail, and I'll see you back here later on in the video. I first want to give you a brief overview of what profile in itself is, just in case you're new to human design. So profile in human design gives you insight into two particular things. Number one is the way that you see yourself and your internal experience of who you are. And number two is what you project out into the world, so what other people see in you and how other people perceive you. The duality of these different parts to you are represented in profile with two numbers. The first number gives you insight into your internal experience. This is also known as your conscious line or your personality line. The second number gives you insight into how other people see you. This is also known as your unconscious number, because often we're not actually aware of how we come across to other people, and it's also known as your design number. These two different numbers correspond to one of 6 lines in human design. Each line has its own qualities and characteristics, and they can come together in a variety of different combinations. As an example, you could be a 1-3, you could be a 2-5, or a 6-2. So the different combination will determine your overall profile. And there are 12 profiles, so there are 12 possible combinations in total. Now, if you're interested in understanding what about your chart or where in your body graph you can get the information that will tell you what your profile is or what someone else's profile is, then what you want to look at is your gate in both your conscious and unconscious sun. And in particular, you're interested in looking at the numbers after the decimal point. For example, as I'm showing you here, this person is a 1-3 because we can see the 0.1 in the conscious sun gate and the 0.3 in the unconscious sun gate. So line 4 is known as the Opportunist. Line 4 is all about people. As a line 4, you're definitely someone who loves to be around people, and it's kind of like the universe knows that and will bring you opportunities through the people that you know. What makes you great around people and what makes you great in a social situation is also your ability to recognize who is a good and positive influence on you and who is not. This is definitely a skill that not everybody has, so it's really important for you to trust that intuition and allow it to guide you towards the people that are in alignment with you and stay away from those who are not. When you use your warm and friendly demeanor, which in this case you're probably doing without even realizing it, you will inevitably be attracting people to you. And when you then forge relationships with the people that resonate with you, this is when and how the opportunities that are meant for you will find you. So for you guys, it's really important to nurture your relationships, to nurture your connections to others, and to not be afraid to be selective in those connections, to not be afraid to almost be picky as to who you decide to spend your time with. Because it's kind of like the saying, your network is your net worth. The people around you have a huge influence on you. As the saying goes, we are the average of the 5 people we hang around with. And this couldn't be more accurate for someone with a 4th line, because you guys are all about your people. Your people are really important to you. You are really important to your people. And so making sure that you're selective as to what the group around you looks like and how it makes you feel is really, really important. And it doesn't have to be difficult for you to understand who is a good fit for you and who isn't. It can be as simple as whoever you truly and genuinely enjoy spending time with is in your life for a reason. So use your authority in these instances and allow it to help you discern Who is someone that you genuinely click with and you have a meaningful connection with, and who perhaps is in your life but isn't a great fit, doesn't bring you any joy, doesn't bring any positivity or add anything of value to you and to your life. And a great reminder for you guys is that the quality of your life really is determined by the quality of your relationships. So the more selected and curated your relationships are, the happier you will be. Line 6 is known as the role model in human design. People with this line experience 3 very distinct phases throughout their life's journey. These 3 different phases can be labeled as trial, transformation, and transcendence. In the first 30 years of their life, so during phase 1, the trial phase, people with line 6 experience life much like a line 3, which is to say that they experience life through trial and error. They are experimenting. They're trying to figure things out. They're trying to figure themselves out. They are doing things, and some of them are working out, some of them are not. And as they are going through that first trial phase, they're learning about themselves. They're learning about the role that they want to play. They're learning about what works and what doesn't, what they like and what they don't, what they want to stand behind and what they want to fight against. This first phase is so important because it's really what's uncovering the kinds of topics and areas that this person with this profile is then going to use later on to rise up and become a role model for. During the second phase, so this is around when someone with a line 6 enters their 30s, a person with this profile will go through a phase of transformation. During this period of time, a line 6 will start to feel a little bit more detached from the day-to-day workings of life. They might make less plans and might be involved with less people and might take less chances and might experiment less. They've kind of done that for the first 30 years and now they're looking to take stock of what they have lived and how they have lived so far to really try and understand what it is that they want going forward and the role and position that they want to take for themselves and for others. This is a real phase of reflection, of refinement, of cutting out what no longer works to focus specifically on what does, on what feels good, on what feels positive, on what is going to help the line 6 make progress in the right direction for them. The third and last phase is the transcendence phase. This is when the line 6 really steps into the shoes of being the role model. This is when they have gone and experimented, they've learned their lessons, they have then had a period of reflection and refinement. They have come to terms with who they are, who they want to be, and in the third phase is when they are ready to start showing up with that knowledge and with that lived experience as the role model that they always looked for themselves. So by this phase is when they've been able to integrate all of their life experiences, the good, the bad and the ugly, into wisdom that they can use to make better choices but also to inspire others. Some challenges to look out for with this line is the first 30 years seem like a bit of a roller coaster. You're going up and down, you don't really know where you're going, where you want to be going, you're experimenting, you are having to come to terms with failures and disappointment, and you're really just out there in the trenches collecting life experience. Some of it will be amazing with great memories made, some of it will be challenging and will challenge you as a person and will teach you lessons that you need to learn. So the first phase really is about that self-resilience and perseverance and trusting that you will come through whatever challenges you might be experiencing, and at the end of that tunnel you will be entering a new phase that is much calmer, much more reflective. Now the challenges that a line 6 might face in the second phase of life when they are in that environment of wanting to kind of withdraw and start to look at their life a little bit more and start to challenge some of their beliefs, start to challenge some of their circumstances, start to choose to make changes, is that they can sometimes feel isolated in that process, because on a practical level what that process might look like is changing your lifestyle, changing your relationships, changing who you are, quitting certain things that no longer serve you, saying goodbye to certain people that maybe just aren't a good fit for you anymore. It can be a season of shedding and letting go, which is incredible because obviously this is what we have to do in life in order to be able to grow. But oftentimes letting go of things also comes with a sense of grieving what was. So although this phase can feel a little bit isolating and even lonely at times, it's vital for you to be able to evolve into the role model that you were always meant to be. Okay, so now we're back. Let's look at what happens when the 4 and the 6 come together to create the 4-6 profile. This is a profile of someone who loves people. You love your family, you love your friends, you love to be at the center of a network that almost revolves around you. This is what makes you a regal figure. It's kind of like people gravitate towards you, they like to be around you, and they always look to you for guidance, for support, for connection, which ends up putting you right in the middle of a tribe, of a collective, of a group of people. This profile is incredible at networking. And when I say networking, I don't necessarily mean going out to kind of a business networking situation and mingling with strangers. Your superpower comes from networking with the people in your life. So you will draw so many opportunities to you by nurturing your family ties, your friendships, and the connections with those around you. This is the kind of situation where you never know who knows who, and you might nurture a friendship, for example, and through that friendship you will attract an opportunity because maybe your friend knows someone who is the exact type of person that you need in your life for a business project or a partnership, or who could end up being your soulmate and who you would never have met had you not nurtured those close relationships with the people around you. Now, what can happen with this profile is that the 4 is all about people, it's all about connection, communication, and networking, and leads with the heart. But the 6 on the outside loves wisdom, loves to lead as a role model. And so what can sometimes happen, God, this sun. And so what sometimes happens is this inner conflict between wanting to lead with the heart but also kind of holding back because the mind doesn't want you to get into situations where you might get things wrong or things might not work out the way you want them to. And the thing is, because people mean so much to you, what the rational or irrational at times mind will want to do is sometimes keep people at arm's length to avoid rejection or to avoid certain relationships or circumstances where you might get hurt. So something to look out for with this profile is to not completely cut people out or reject people purely because you're trying to protect yourself and avoiding the situation where you might be rejected or they might do something to hurt you or to break your trust. Trust is really, really important for this profile. And so sometimes what can happen is that you build these barriers around you to protect yourself and to protect your heart and to protect how much you care because you're worried that things aren't going to go the way that they're meant to. But by doing that, not only you're keeping people out, but you're also keeping yourself in, right? You're also keeping yourself locked up. You're also keeping yourself separate from the people that are ultimately going to help you fulfill your potential and find purpose, meaning, and fulfillment in your life. So trust is really important, but ensure that you've got healthy boundaries around it and look out for you kind of going to the other extreme and distancing yourself from people for the fear of getting hurt by them. Now, let's remember that with the line 6, the first phase of the 3 cycles that you're going to go through is trial. So what can happen with this profile is that you are such a warm and friendly and caring person that you always put on this brave face. You always want people to feel comfortable around you. You always want to ensure that others feel seen and taken care of. But whilst you're going through that first phase of trial and error, you might feel really vulnerable on the inside. So there can almost be this separation of I want to be there for others and I want to be part of the group and I want to nurture my relationships and I want to be there for my loved ones, my family and my friends. So you convince yourself that the only way that you can do that and to be there for others is to keep really quiet about your own struggles, your own vulnerabilities. And it's really important for you to remember that actually it's through your own experiences that you're going to be collecting that wisdom that is then going to benefit not just you but the network of people around you, because all the experiences that you're going through are teaching you so much and that is going to help you resonate with people more, create rapport really easily. It's going to help you build empathy and understanding and compassion towards others, and just remember to use that empathy and compassion and wisdom towards yourself as well. So this profile, as I mentioned, is sometimes referred to as the Regal Authority Figure. And what I want you to take away from this is that you don't need to try to be an authority figure. You just need to be yourself, because it really does come natural to you. You don't have to try to impress. You don't have to try to lead. You don't have to try to be at the center of attention. That will happen by default when you are in alignment with who you are, what you do, and how you do it. So relax into being that role model. Understand that it's not something that you have to do. It's not a job. It's not a hat that you have to wear. It's built into the fabric of who you are. So just embrace living your life in a way that feels good and enjoyable and happy and joyful to you, and everything else will fall into place. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to the 4/6 profile human design, the Regal Authority Figure. If you would like to know more about your profile or do a deep dive into your unique design, then there are different ways I can support you. You can book a human design reading with me, you can download some free resources that are available on my website, or you can check out my coaching packages, which offer a one-to-one personalized experience where you and I work together to help you understand your design, work on your mindset, and then we look at the exact actions that you need to be taking to achieve your version of success in your personal and professional life. So if any of that is intriguing to you, you can check out the links that I'll leave for you in the description box below. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you here in the next one. Bye guys!